What's going on, my people? Hey, welcome to the latest edition of the Country Boy Podcast presented by Unequaled Lifestyle. I'm your host, Jimmy Lucas. Joining with me, as always, my ace, Mr. Dante, the Country Boy himself. What's going on, man?
What's going on, Jimmy? Blessed to be here. Looking forward to another great show. Looking forward to the upcoming shows as well.
Absolutely. I always say, man, any day above ground is always better than alternative. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Every time somebody asks me, how you doing? I tell them, if you see me, you know I'm good.
I'm good, right?
I'm good. Yeah.
Right.
Me, I'm good.
The only promise we have is life. And after we get life, every morning, the rest of the day is up to us to decide how we going to tackle it.
Exactly.
Right?
24 hours every day.
That's right. Before we get started today with the thought of the week, again, this episode is brought to you by M&M Tax Professionals, home of the low price guarantee. And believe it or not, for all my Martin fans out there, Tommy and Cole do have a job. Mm-hmm. It's called Tommy and Cole Trucking. All right, for all your long hauling needs, hit up Tommy and Cole Trucking. And also, we have into the fold is the inflatable kings, right?
Uh-oh.
Bouncy castles.
Uh-oh.
All right? Birthday, summertime, birthdays, family reunions, all those things like that. If you need an inflatable bouncy castle, all right, we have them 10% off by using the code Country Boy. All right, so hit us up in the inbox to get if you need taxes, if you need long hauling, or if you need some inflatables for that birthday party and family reunion. Let us know. All right, we get you connected and hooked up. All right, today's thought of the week comes from Lily Vahir, and Miss Lily says, "Behind you, all your memories; before you, all your dreams; around you, all who love you; within you, all you need." Mm-hmm. All right, I want to slow down a little bit so you can catch that. It says again, the thought of the week says, behind you, all your memories; before you, all your dreams; around you, all who love you; and within you, all you need. Country Boy, what you got for us this week?
The post of the week goes from Miss Lisa Marie Morton. This kind of a preview. By the way, make sure you guys are liking, sharing, subscribing to the Country Boy Podcast presented by Unequaled Lifestyle. This kind of touches the subject we're going to be having this week with Miss Lisa Marie Morton. Says, men, it does not take 2 to 5 years of dating, living together, and a baby to know if she's your wife or not. You know right away. Now stop playing with these women and stealing years from their life. As for my ladies, know your worth.
Know your worth. Amen.
Know your worth.
And amen.
And we're going to get into that on the upcoming show about getting into the values and the relationship points of the two people, what they're looking for in these relationships, and getting on the same page. So I look forward to that conversation we got coming up next week. Yes,
absolutely. It's going to be very interesting. We probably label it like, I don't know, the yin and yang or something like that, right?
Because it's definitely going to be opposite. It's going to be a lot of insightful opinions.
Right.
It's going to be delivered on that show.
But man, that's one thing that I wanted to hit on today. I mean, it's numerous topics out there going on today. Of course, we have the thing going on with the abortion, right? We have the thing going on with the freedom of speech, right?
Right.
But speaking of yin and yang, right? The one thing that and we can go anywhere you want to go.
Wherever you take it.
This is something I was thinking about. Like, when did we become a people, become a society, become a country to where if you say you like Burger King and I say I like Wendy's, we can't be friends no more. You know what I mean? Like, we in a space to where that we can't disagree on nothing and still be cool about it, right? Still be cordial to each other. It's like either you like what I like, or I don't want to have nothing else to do with you.
Yeah, that's kind of, and you know what, Jimmy, you make a great point, but that's kind of small-minded people. You kind of, and as you get older, because I know somebody's listeners out there are dealing with that right now. I know people that's scared to express their opinion to people because they in fear of what they may say back, and then they get into an argument. But it's so small, but it's so huge because we don't take the time to listen to each other,
right?
To actually try and put yourself in their position to hear the other side. And let me also say this. It does not mean that your opinion has to change. Everybody's not trying to change your opinion by listening to theirs.
Right.
But you can't be so closed-minded you won't listen to it.
Right.
You know, and if you find out, like you just said, if you find yourself in a position where you're constantly around people and you don't want to even hear what they got to say, then you might need to find you another circle.
Right.
Find you another group of individuals to be around, because we weren't put on this earth to argue. You know, we come from different roads, different environments, different everything. So one thing I like about our show, we're trying to give you some solutions. We're not saying our solutions are absolute.
Right.
We're no experts. We're not a professional. You hear these people on TV talking about they're expert in this. How can you be an expert in something? I mean, that saying is more than one way to skin a cat.
Exactly.
That's you know, we're just trying to give you some avenues so you can avoid situations that you don't have to get into.
Right. You're right. Doctors go to school for 8 to 10 years to practice.
Practice that. Yeah, practice medicine. Doctors give you advice. They give you advice. Now we don't have that schooling. I'm not going to argue with a doctor.
Right.
But you know, they offer opinions to diagnose you. That's what they go to school for. But I mean, there's still no experts.
Right. Still no experts. And I mean, I just think it's sad that we've gotten to a place where we can't have a decent conversation about any topic,
anything,
right? And not walk away from that still being the way we were when we walked into it.
True, because most people don't walk away saying, well, I don't like him.
Right.
Like you say, I don't want to be around him, or I don't want to be around her, and that definitely shouldn't be the case.
Right. How dare he say a Whopper from Burger King better than Wendy's?
Exactly.
Like, he don't know what he's talking about. I'm not talking to him no more. He owns something.
Correct.
He own one. Ain't that how I say it? He own one.
Correct. Yeah, correct. And like I said, a lot of times I used to be like they want to win. You want to win the conversation. Well, I got to the point now where I'm not trying to win it. I'm going to listen to what you got to say. I'm going to give you my version of how I feel about it. And then you can decide how you want to do it. My job is not to convince anybody. That's why I don't judge people.
Exactly.
It's nothing a person can tell me that I'm going to look down upon.
Exactly.
That just won't happen.
Exactly.
Because we all come from different places.
Exactly. And it's your opinion, right? You have the right to have your opinion. I have the right to have my opinion. We have the right to agree or not disagree.
Yeah.
Right? But it's at the same time, right, it shouldn't lead to any type of discernment, violence, like anything like
Definitely
that.
not violent.
Right?
They picking up guns now. They
Exactly,
ain't even
right.
fight no more.
Right.
Yeah, they picking up guns.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think the problem has become that we forget that the reason why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, right? We're supposed to listen twice.
More than you talk.
Right. You're supposed to listen 2 times more than you talk.
Correct.
Right.
We were all given freedom of speech and freedom of choice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
So I mean, even with that, whole debate thing, right? We transition that to sports, right?
Correct.
And we have the ultimate debate of who's the greatest.
Correct.
All right, Mike or the GOAT, James, right?
And Kobe.
Right, and Kobe, right? One alpha, right? You know what I mean, right?
Correct.
So what my thing about sports today is like, and I want to touch on Britney Griner for a quick second, right? And I want to bring that into what we're going to our discussion for today, okay?
All right.
But this is my issue, and I talk a lot about LeBron, right? That doesn't necessarily mean I am a LeBron fan, right?
Fanatic.
Right. What it means is that I appreciate greatness.
Correct.
Right? And he's on that pedestal, that Mount Rushmore of greatness.
But see, Jimmy, you just said something earlier that goes to that point of greatness.
Right.
Even the level of greatness is defined by what relates to you.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
You see how that goes?
Exactly.
So that's why I never argue with people about who they think is great. Kobe is
Right.
the greatest for me, for my standards, for what I consider great.
Right.
Now, what people start to try and do, which I don't like this, but it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you compare it, and this is some info out here that people can stop arguing with people. When you're comparing 2 greats, you're going to be nitpicking stuff back and forth.
Right.
If I've been debating Kobe and Jordan for a long time. Then I started debating Kobe and LeBron when they both were playing. Then it changed to LeBron and Mike.
Right.
Okay, so we can take those 3 guys and have 3 different people, and we all can have valid reasons why we think they the GOAT. There is no way we can argue until we blue in the face. There is no way we can prove who is the GOAT.
No, you can't do it.
You just can't. So I've seen people get to fighting.
Yeah.
Like you said, they don't want to talk to him no more. All trying to prove something that we cannot prove.
Right.
Because I ask the older people all the time, you know who they say the GOAT is? Jimmy. I'm talking about, and before I say this, I don't want it, and the older people gonna relate to that. Just hear this. Do you know who they say out their mouth first before Mike, before Kobe, before LeBron, anybody?
Probably Russell.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yep.
And they talk about him from college up. They don't start at the NBA.
Right.
They start at college up.
Right. Lou Alcindor.
They say they never seen nothing like Lou before in their life.
Right.
So, I mean, like I said, it's just greatness going to depend on what relates to you. It's sort of like me and you picking out mentors or picking the people we look up to.
Right.
It's all predicated on where you came from, how you live, what you like. Because I'm sure something you like about LeBron, it'll make me be like, But I can tell you something about Kobe that you ain't going to be able to relate to because maybe you didn't walk the path that I walked.
Exactly.
For me to tell you why I love Kobe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and like again, I agree with you, right? They're all great in their own way, right? In their own era, they're all great, and you can't compare one to the other because it's different eras. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So it's really, truly, to your point, it's impossible to say who's better than the other person.
Yeah, but we argue it because we're men and we're sports fanatics.
Right.
And that's what we love to do. We like to engage.
Right.
But me and you ain't been talking about this subject, and we gonna continue.
Right.
To the day the Lord call us home, we're still gonna be talking about this.
Right.
And the reason why, like I said, everybody talks about Kobe with Dante. What is it about Kobe? I'm just gonna give you one little tidbit that's outside of basketball. Kobe Bryant had what I saw with my two eyes, the most dominant big man that I've ever seen in my time.
Right.
I'm not talking about Orlando Shaq.
Right.
I'm talking about the Diesel.
Right.
This is it's the difference between Shaq and the Diesel.
Right. Yep.
He had the Diesel.
Right.
The best big man. He is probably the best force I've seen, strength-wise, physical-wise, probably until I saw LeBron.
Right.
Okay. For Kobe Bryant, a young man. And when I say young, I mean young. I mean, he was an all-star before he could buy alcohol.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
For him to tell the most dominant big man in the world, you can go ahead.
Right.
I can do this myself.
Right.
See, I equate that to me telling these other tax companies, I'm good.
Right.
I'm going to go do it on my own. And then he goes and does it.
Right.
See, he ain't just say it, he go and do it.
Right.
See, that's one little tidbit of how I equate what he did to my lifestyle. Because that's what I did. Now, for everybody saying that that's cool, but let me tell you something about it. Kobe went years before he got help. Yep. He went years before Gasol came. He went years before Artest and Odom came. He had to endure that. Everybody would feel. That's right. Everybody was laughing at him.
Right.
You imagine he laughed at daily, Jimmy, for a decision you made. You went from the top of the mountain to the lowest part.
Yep.
And you climb back up. Man, please.
Yep.
Please. It's a lot of y'all won't go out and do the things that we're talking about just to try to get your business because you're worried about what somebody going to say, much less the world.
Right. Right, exactly.
The world.
Right, exactly. and like Barkley, right? Like with KD, right? And Barkley. Like Barkley called KD a bus rider.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Right? And right? And people like went in on Barkley. But to Barkley's point though, think about it, right? The reason why he called him a bus rider was because he can't do it on his own. Right? So look, so so Golden State won before him, right?
Correct.
They got two with him. And then after he left, they got one, right?
Correct.
Now Durant, he requesting a trade, right?
Absolutely.
He want to go. His top two teams are Phoenix and Miami.
Correct.
Right. Both number one seeds last year. So, to Barkley's point, he trying to go get on somebody else's bus and win a chip. At least with LeBron, I'm always bring him back, right? At least he tried to bring people to him because he wanted to drive the bus. Right, it didn't always work out, but
we win.
He didn't want to drive. He wanted to be the bus driver, not a bus rider. So he went and got his own bus and went around and picked up people. All right, but Durant standing at the corner with his thumb out with 2 quarters, trying to get on the bus.
So let me ask you this, Jimmy. Take Barkley out of the equation because, like I said, I respect Charles Barkley. I was a Charles Barkley fan. I rooted for Phoenix against the Bulls in the finals. So let me just say this before I ask you this, but I want to know your opinion. Let's say, for the sake of argument, Kevin Durant was a free agent. Now, I want you to be honest. Okay. Be honest with the listeners, because this goes back to what we're talking about.
Right.
Choices and who you like. If KD was to play out his contract that he, like he said, that he had in Golden State, and he went to Milwaukee with Giannis before he won.
Right.
Does that make him a bus rider? If Giannis never won, before Giannis won, and KD won too, but he goes and join up with KD. I mean, he goes and join up with Giannis and Middleton, and they win. Doesn't he get the same rep? Because they gonna say he joined Giannis. What's the difference? I'm just asking your opinion now. What would be the difference to you?
None. He still be going riding somebody else.
That's why, KD, I'm on your side, KD. Do what you feel, brother, that's going to be successful to you. So now you get where I'm coming from.
Right. So my question to you is that how come LeBron don't get that same favor? Why he get the smoke?
Let me tell you why on LeBron. Now, when LeBron took the Cavs to the finals and got swept by the Spurs, I'm a person that didn't talk down on him. I respected him for that.
Right.
I respect the way people go about their business. It's not so much as the results. So like when me and you always talk, I tell you, I give him a pass on that because he drug a bunch of luggage with it.
Right.
All right. But what I don't like, and what made me fall out with him, is because you took Dwayne Wade, who was already a Finals MVP, and Chris Bosh, and you went down to Miami. Wasn't nobody in the East gonna beat them. Right. I could pencil them in every year. Now moving forward, when he went back to Cleveland, he lost Kyrie. He lost Kevin Love and Kyrie in that Golden State series, and he lost, right? I don't hold that against him. See, I'm not like everybody else. I don't hold that against Braun.
Right.
The only losses I hold against Braun is the one to Dallas, but again, he wasn't ready.
Right.
That goes to show you when you ain't ready, it ain't God's timing. You're not gonna win.
Right.
I don't care how talented you are.
Right.
He has to show you favor.
Right.
So he wasn't ready. So 2011, okay, cool. Now, when he beat Golden State, I'm not a guy that's saying if Draymond don't get suspended, they don't win. I'm not one of them because I don't live. See, that's me. Right. But everybody I know gonna say, well, man, if they didn't kick Draymond out, then bam. But my problem with LeBron, the reason why he's not my GOAT, he is in my top 5, but not my GOAT, is because every championship he's won, he's had 2 Hall of Famers on his team.
Okay.
That's it. Now, I don't have nothing against him. I'm not a guy gonna sit here and be talking about he this, he that, Braun shave his line like this, and Braun. But Braun is the face. Right. So, being the face, Jimmy, your face got to be right at all times.
You right.
He played in the Drew League, right?
Right.
Me and you both know that man shouldn't be playing no Drew League. No. But
right.
He has a right to go play in the Drew League if that's what LeBron James want to do. Right. I can't. People out here criticizing LeBron for scoring 40-something on regular guys, but people, y'all gotta understand that man just love to hoop.
Right, that's it. Just want to hoop.
So I'm not a LeBron just flat out hater. Right. It's just certain things about the way he went by his business that I don't like. You know, it's certain things about MJ I don't like. But Lord, you gotta respect these guys' game. I'm just not a fanatic. But like I asked you, you even said it yourself. KD go to Milwaukee before Giannis win anything and win, because you're gonna be like, nah.
Right.
Nah. You just said it. So how can KD?
Right.
KD, shout out to you. He's the money sniper. Shout out to you, KD.
Right.
Go where you want to win at, KD. Go where you want to win, because they're going to talk about you when you win. They're going to talk about you if you don't win. So I might as well win if you're going to talk about me.
My argument, I would say to that is this, right? You take out the Detroit Pistons team with Billups and Hamilton and Rashid and Big Ben.
Hell of a team.
Right? So even though they had 5 All-Stars, right, you take that team out of the equation. All right? You name one other team that has won a championship without at least two great All-Stars and Hall of Famers.
Kobe.
Shaq. Gasol.
After Shaq. Kobe didn't become my favorite player in the world to after Shaq.
So you
go look at those rosters. Name one person that's going to go to the Hall of Fame possibly off those teams after Shaq. Besides maybe Paul Gasol. That's it.
Right. But at least one other All-Star and one other Hall of Fame.
At least I don't know a Hall of Famer that played with Kobe.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We just stop at Gasol.
Correct. Gasol. Gasol may be a Hall of Famer. Maybe.
All right.
Maybe.
Has LeBron ever had a better coach than Phil Jackson?
I don't think so. But see, I think LeBron's personality, in my opinion, he's not a guy that would want a Phil or a Popovich as a coach. I think he could only play with them for so long. LeBron is he's a system guy. He wants it his way. But see, one thing I admire about LeBron, if he does it his way and succeeds, I mean, I'm cool with it.
My thing is that let's take the past 10 years, all right?
Mm-hmm.
You cannot win an NBA championship. I ain't going to say you cannot.
Mm-hmm.
It is very, very difficult, almost impossible to win an NBA championship this day and age without 2 to 3 all-stars.
You know why? Because the circumstances have changed.
Exactly.
You know, like we said, it's a timing thing. There was a time when me and you, we would go outside and play. We had to holler down the street, "Hey, Jimmy."
Right.
Hey, man, we hooping. Hey. Well, we riding bikes too. Now they got phones, texts,
right.
Instagram, Snapchat. Man, you can meet people without even talking to them. You can send it out to a group of 20, 30 people without talking to them. So the times have changed.
Right.
So I do agree with that. Right. The point is that I don't like sportscasters and so-called experts that nitpick at KD. I mean, you tell me what is it about KD? What is it about KD? Because KD even said it. Hey, man, Bron got fanboys, people that protect him in the media. And we both know he does.
Right.
ESPN and these other shows, Skip Bayless and a couple more other guys and myself are the only ones who talk or have something negative to say about LeBron. Now, I'm not deep as Skip is because Skips go over the board sometimes. But the point is that KD has a fair point. And KD, y'all should take KD, the listeners out their life, and look at it through your own lenses. That man is a 2-time champion. He's a 2-time MVP.
Yep.
And whatever he's doing is going wrong to the point where he cares about what y'all think, Jimmy. Exactly. With us. I'm saying KD cares about what we think.
Yeah, he does.
You got to think about that now.
He does. All the burner accounts.
This man there's no way if I'm KD, I don't take y'all from my account. What can you do to me?
Exactly.
I'm texting from my real account.
Right.
If I want to engage with you. But think about this, folks. This is what's funny to Dante, to the country boy. KD takes the time out of his day to interact.
Right.
That's like Denzel Washington texting me just because I spit a line out on training day.
Right.
That's unheard of, right?
Right.
That's like Rick Ross texting me back after I tell him about the new thigh wings at Wingstop.
Right.
KD actually does this.
Right.
And I think, Jimmy, people take it out of context because he does interact with regular people.
Right.
So-called regular people.
Yeah, man, I think it just go back to the oversensitive that this world has become to.
Extreme. Extreme.
Right. Well, let's talk about life. Let's segue a little bit. Let's stay on basketball. I'm gonna read some stats to you.
Okay.
All right.
Don't forget about Britney now.
And
we got to get on her neck.
And the funny part about stats is that people say that Jordan the GOAT because he's 6-6, went to 6-1-6. But when I say, well, statistically, LeBron has the best stats in ever, right? Especially when he passed Kareem. And then they say, "Oh man, we don't count stats. Stats don't count." Well, 6-6 is a stat. Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, we're going to get a Jordan fan on the show, and then let them put them points out. Because they do use that 6 out of 6. I'm like, what happened to other 12 or 13, whatever years you've been playing?
Right, and let's dismiss the Wizard years. Anyway, I'm not going to go in there. So look, real quick, let's hit Britney, right? So this is my opinion on Britney Griner, right? I agree that at this point they're using her as a pawn.
Absolutely.
Right.
Why wouldn't he?
Right, exactly. Why wouldn't they, right? If they have some type of leverage, they think they have some type of leverage with the U.S. and you have a U.S. citizen during the time that we're in, right, with war and all Ukraine and all this stuff, like, why not? But my thing is this, right, and I know this is a very unpopular belief. I have a brother right now in Germany that every single day on his Twitter, he says release. He does a whole thing about releasing Britney Griner, right? Every single day since she was first locked up, he does it, right? My brother.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah, bro.
So my opinion is very unpopular, but then again, it's my opinion.
Because I got one that's going to be unpopular too, probably.
And when I go back to the world being oversensitized is the fact that we forget she committed a crime.
Don't steal my take now. I feel like you about go ahead though. I feel like you about to steal my take on
that's
this.
it. That's my point, right? That's all. I'm done with it. She did commit a crime. She did try to smuggle illegal drugs through TSA.
Okay.
All right. So she did commit a crime, and that's all I got to say.
Now I'm gonna go since you stole my take. See, we're gonna, but I'm glad we don't discuss what we're gonna say. Let me say this. Please stop talking about if that was LeBron, that USA would bring him home.
Right.
Please let's stop that. Let me explain something to y'all. like you just said, she got caught trying to bring drugs back into the USA. All right, who did we aid in war? We aided against Russia in war.
Right.
They have a well-known U.S. citizen that happens to be a controversial figure.
Right.
She got caught with drugs. Now, anybody else, yes, they probably would have let her pay the fine, blah, 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 and come home. But you help the people that's trying to hurt us.
Right.
Now, I want y'all to sit back and think about that for a minute.
Right.
You tried to help Jimmy shoot me. And you want me to look out for you.
Right.
That's not going to happen.
Right.
That's not going to happen.
Right.
And so stop comparing. Listen, our legal system, even here in the U.S., it's not the same for everyone. We all know this.
Right. We all know.
And that's the only reason I wanted to touch on that, because people, y'all need a dose of reality. Where have y'all been? If you think on my board it says life is not fair.
Right.
Life ain't fair. It's not the same rules, not the set of circumstances for everyone. If you believe that, then you're naive to this world. You haven't been around this world.
Right.
So that's my thing. I feel no sorrow in my heart. I'm not finna hashtag no free Britney Griner. I'm not finna do that. If she got caught with drugs, if she wasn't Britney Griner, then she probably be at home. If she was Jimmy Lucas or Dante Moore, we'd be at home. We'd pay some money, pay your fine, we'd been at home. But since we went to war, we help people that's trying to destroy Russia.
Right.
Do people understand what that means?
Right, exactly. Right.
Okay, that's your home girl down the street try to help another girl jump on you.
Right.
But you think that girl down, we gonna ask you to go down there and give the girl down the street some money.
Right.
Or some sugar, borrow some Kool-Aid.
Right.
Whatever. Man, y'all gonna be like, man, get out of my face.
Right.
So why y'all trying to create hashtags and stuff for a situation? Man, we could be putting that time on something else.
Exactly.
But anyway, that's my opinion. Because I get mad about that type of stuff,
Right.
man. It just don't make no sense.
Cause you go right now to the Jackson airport right now with some drugs in your pocket. Go through TSA and watch what happens to you.
You won't be able to fly for the next 320 years.
Right? Watch what happens to you.
Okay.
Well, look. So I'm gonna read the stat to you, right?
All right.
And this is Michael Jordan's stat. All right.
Go.
This is Michael Jordan's stat. So again, I advocate for LeBron.
True.
Because the way he's been hated on, which for no apparent reason at all, right? On the court, off the court, he's been nothing but.
Jimmy, let me ask you a question too. You know, I always stop and had to ask these personal questions.
Right.
So you must have been hated on before.
No,
I'm just saying. You said LeBron.
Right. I just like having a voice for the voiceless. Right. I like speaking up for the people that everybody else doggone.
What make you think
man,
LeBron
right?
been hated on though? Before you give me the stats.
Let's pull
Why
up,
you say he been
let's
hated?
Let's Google LeBron James right now.
I can't do it. Why has he been hated on? He is
That's my point.
He just turned into a billion.
Right.
Maybe people just okay. What is the line between the way that I perceive LeBron? 'Cause you've been around me. Do you consider that hate?
No.
Okay,
I
so
don't know.
when you
That's
say
not
hate,
hate.
you mean it in terms of
people taking his accolades and basically poo-pooing on him.
Oh, okay,
Right?
okay.
People taking what he's done and trying to like not victimize, but make him a villain.
But you remember what I
Right.
said earlier about? I bet you any kind of money those are the people who like Kareem, Jordan.
Right.
What I mean, you have to find something to try and make your GOAT look less than my GOAT.
Right. And you know what? That's the question. Let's open this question up, right? Why all the LeBron haters out there, all the people that dislike LeBron, come in and tell us why. Tell me what has he done?
Go to
right?
YouTube to Country Boy Life.
Right.
The
Right.
Country
Let's
Boy
open it up.
Podcast
Right.
presented by Unequal Lifestyle. And the comments are on. Let us know why you, not the world, why you think LeBron isn't the GOAT, or why you feel he isn't who some people think he is.
Exactly. I mean, statistically, he's won chips, right? He's won chips. He's high in statistics. He's opened up a school. He's never been. Listen though. We have no evidence of any extramarital affairs. You know what I'm saying? He shows how he's a loving father, right? So what is it about the man that people hate on so much? I don't get it, man.
I'm just telling y'all, man. Let
me know.
I get what you're saying, but let us know. Make sure y'all go and comment. We're gonna make sure we open that up on the thing too to let them know. Comment on that. Because I'm pretty sure it's a reason why all of you guys don't like him.
Right, it has to be, right?
It's a reason.
All right, so 91 and 94, we all know Jordan won 3 chips.
Correct.
Right, retired, 95,
Play
93, right, retired to go play baseball, right?
Mm-hmm.
He set out for 2 years playing baseball. In that time, his father passed away.
Correct.
All right, and he came back 95 season.
Correct.
All right, the second 3 championships, 95 and 98,
Okay.
in a 32-month span.
Okay.
32-month span, right? We're talking about a little under 3 years,
Okay.
3 seasons. And I'm not sure when they changed from 5 games to 7-game series. So we're talking about at least 98 to 100 games for 3 straight years.
Okay.
All right. 3 championships, 3 scoring titles, 2 MVPs, 3 final MVPs, 3 defensive first teams, all NBA team, right? That ain't the stat need to be worried. This is the stat. 0 games missed.
Oh, they played back then.
0. I'm gonna read that again. In 32-month span,
3 years.
3 championships, 3 scoring titles, 2 MVPs, 3 finals MVPs, 3 defensive first teams, 3 all NBA first teams, 0 games missed. But wait now.
It's more?
It's more, right?
2
out of the 4 years, 4 out of his entire playing career, right? 4 times in his playing career, he has won. In the same year, he's won the MVP, scoring title, championship, finals MVP, all defensive team, and first NBA team, right? He did it twice during that 3-year span. Twice. And that first year back from retirement, it was the 72 and 10 team. The first year out of retirement.
Yeah. That's the Rodman team.
But we too tired.
Well, that's one of the things that Barkley and the older guys are saying is
Right.
that the guys don't play. And for people who are not a sports fan, what Jim is basically saying, man played 82 games back then. Every night. He took no nights off. Ain't no he resting just because it's back-to-back.
Right.
He played every single playoff game. That means if you went to see Michael Jeffrey Jordan, or you bought tickets early, he played.
Right.
That was one of the things that Kobe said. He said, well, what about the people who saved up their money for this one particular game, and I decided I don't want to play.
Right.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you, Jimmy. That's happened to me before. I bought tickets to the game in New Orleans, and when I got there, Steph and Durant didn't play. It was just Clay and the crew.
Right.
And like I said, it's nothing you can do about it. The NBA don't refund tickets based upon who don't play.
Right.
So, man, that's an amazing stat. 0 games missed.
0 games missed in 3 seasons. It ain't just the fact that he didn't miss any games, but the fact that not only did he miss any games, he played at the top of his game. He played better than any other player in the NBA. But look, we too tired to get up and go work out at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
Right.
That's tough.
We too tired.
That's tough. Man, and I don't want to be biased enough, but for some reason when you said 0 game, this first thing popped in my head was Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kawhi. But it did. That's the first player popped up in my head.
Right.
Because I know other players do take off rest. But I was like, if you go back, Kawhi, uncle, which is his agent, was talking about on back-to-backs, it's a certain clause where he don't play them.
Right. Well, look, man. So what is it, though, right? So we talked about that internal success.
Yes.
Right?
That push.
Right. We talked about that, right?
Yes.
So here it is, right? And he was getting paid peanuts back then compared to what they getting paid now.
Man, that's why Shaq. See,
right?
Let me show you something else to show you how these people are human. Shaq on national TV. Shaq is on the verge of being maybe a billionaire. Shaq got hundreds of millions.
Right.
Rudy Gobert got that $250 million contract. And Shaq went off.
Right.
And KD was on. Shout out to KD again, because KD engaged Shaq. He said, man, come on, chill out, man. You $100 million. Why is you hating on Gobert? Right. And to be honest, KD, Shaq wasn't hating. What he's saying is that in my day, Gobert is not a $250 million player.
Right.
But, of course, Jimmy, with inflation and time. But it just goes to show you, people ain't just talking about or commenting on people's situation just in your neighborhood, just in your community, just in your job. Shaq's on national TV, and he couldn't hold it.
Right.
He was talking on another man's pocket.
Right. So with this stat though, let's go into teach a little bit, right? And what I mean, so this was after he already won 3 titles.
Yeah, won 3 already. Yeah.
He already
dad paid.
And he retired, right?
And he retired 2 years to play baseball.
And he still was like on verge to be a billionaire with selling J's, right?
Man,
McDonald's, right? He had all these endorsements. So he really truly had no reason, nothing to prove by coming back and playing.
No.
He could have just sat down, rested on what he's already done, right?
Correct.
And just lived out the rest of his days.
Correct.
Right? But it was something in him that he held himself to a higher standard, right?
Correct.
He was hungry. He wanted more, right? He wanted to be even more successful to the point to where he would have been a Hall of Famer if he would have quit after that.
Absolutely.
After the first 3 years, he would have been a Hall of Famer, right?
Correct.
So why that drive though? Why do we have or don't have that same drive when it comes to our own life, right? Why do we sit back and rest on the little bit that we've already done, right?
We talk about this every show, and it's gonna come up every show because it's all about sacrifice. And what do you want? What are your goals?
Right.
You know, you gotta want more. It's got to be a desire in you to wanna just want more. And like I said, every person is different. But if you're the vice president and you become your first, because they always put titles on stuff. First black, first this, first that. Do you stop or do you keep going?
Right.
If your goal is to, like you say, I'll just take you for example. Your goal, you have your first gym, your first studio.
Right.
Well, do you want to stop there? Is there a certain number of members you want? There is drive behind drive of people who want to be great.
Right.
You know, the thing that comes to mind when we talk about this is everyone talks about that I talk to, whether they call me Country Boy, Dante, Roderick, whatever case may be. Man, look, I'm trying to get independent and get this money.
Right.
I'm trying to do this so I can get this money. I'm trying to do this so I can get this money to be able to provide a better blah, blah, blah. But what's never talked about, which I hope we will down the road, people never talk about what you going to do or having the knowledge to know what to do with the money when you get it.
Right. Yep.
When you get it.
Right.
You know, you see, that's why, again, I'm going to point to this again. Life is not fair because not only do you have to work harder to get more, you have to put in more time and more drive to get what you want. Then once you get it, people, once you get what you're looking for, now you begin to play a whole new game because you got to know how to keep it.
Right. You
got to know what to do with it. This ain't taught in school.
Right.
Credit is not taught in school. Financial literacy is not taught in school.
Right.
Most of the time, you either go through the school of hard knocks, or you have somebody that you maybe can call, or that maybe can guide you in the right direction. But everybody need to understand that. Hey, I'm gonna work 2 jobs. What are you working 2 jobs for? Money? What? Money? What? What you gonna do with the money?
Right.
You know.
Right. Legacy. That's the word. When you was talking, that's the word that came to my mind.
True.
All right. Legacy. Right. And talk about me for example. Right. So I'm 46 years old. Right. 20 plus years military behind me. Right. Have my disability intact. Right. So
stop.
Is
that what they say? Stop.
I could go to the house and just show up at my kids' school every day and bug the hell out of them.
Stop. Yeah, and stop. And stop.
You know, go get go get some coffee, go play golf, go volunteer at the school, and go back to the house.
And stop.
All right. But legacy.
You want more.
Right. That's my why. Right.
Yeah, you want
my
more.
why is because the Bible says that an inheritance for your kids' kids.
Correct.
All right. So I opened up a studio because of legacy. I'm trying to build a legacy for my family. Right. Trying to have something established so when I'm gone, they don't have to worry about clocking in and trading time for money to make somebody else rich.
Correct.
All right. Then they have a place that they can call their own, that they can use to create their own legacy.
Correct. And pass it down
and continue to pass it for the inheritance, right, of your kids, right? So it's legacy, right? So that's when you were talking, that word came to mind, and the question I want to ask is, what's your why? Right? What is the legacy that you're building towards?
Well, like I said, my legacy is to give my kids a head start. My kids are at the forefront. Like I said, when I was younger, it was selfish. It was all about me. Now it's about my children, my family, the people that I love. I want them to have a better head start, whether I'm around to see it or not. They're gonna have the tools to have it. Now, what they do with it, I can't do nothing. I can't do nothing about that.
Nope.
I really can't. You know, like I said, one of my most proud accomplishments is being able to retire my mom.
Mm-hmm.
My mom doesn't work.
Right.
So every 2 weeks, my mom get a check from the company for sitting at home.
Right.
man, that's huge for me because I know what my mom went through.
Right.
You know, like I said, I know all the things I've witnessed what she went through. So that's huge for me. But I stop. How am I gonna stop?
Right.
I can't stop.
Right.
You know why? Because I got 2 more sons.
Right.
Men that's watching me. I don't want them to stop.
Right.
You know, I told my son this morning, after we played ball this morning, Jim, I went and got him from Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
He said, Dad, did you see the preseason rankings? I said, what preseason rankings? He said, high school. They got us number 1. I said, what does that mean? I said, what were you guys last year? He said, oh, Dad, here you go. Here you go. Here you go. I cut the radio down. I said, what was you guys ranked last year?
Right.
He said, we were 9. I said, what did you finish? He said, Dad, you know we finished 2nd.
Right.
And he kind of got teared up because they lost to Madison Central on the last play last year in Hattiesburg.
Right.
But the point I was trying to tell my son is that the time that you're spending this summer, the things that you're doing now, the games are going to be easy.
Mm-hmm.
You're putting the work in now, son.
Right.
So I want my son to understand when he teaches his son about legacy and what his dad did and left for him or left in him.
Right.
So pretty much all the people who want to be great, they want more.
Right.
I want more.
Right.
You get, okay, I'll tell you what. It's a house you want, Jimmy. When you get in that house, you ain't gonna stop.
Right.
You ain't gonna stop. You want a bigger house.
Right. Right.
I'm just being honest.
Right.
People saying, all right, so that's why my premise is, and I always say this every show, be grateful and thank God for the blessings that you have now in order to be blessed with more.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make you feel bad because you want more. If you driving that truck, Jimmy, and I say, Jimmy, that's a nice truck. You say I want another truck, I'm never going to say to you why you want another truck.
Right.
Oh, that's a nice truck, man. You don't need another truck. How am I to tell you what you need?
Right.
Your success is defined by what Jimmy wants.
Right. Right.
And mine is, I don't care if I got 9 kids. I want to leave them all a legacy. Will I get there? Maybe. Maybe not. But I'm going out like a soldier trying to.
Exactly.
I'm using every avenue I can to try and do that. Right. And I'm fine with that because I'm trying. You know, that's one of the things that people don't do. They don't try. They never fail.
Right.
Because they don't try.
Exactly, right? Or like growth, for example, right? Like, why do we come this far to stay the same, right? You're supposed to grow.
Absolutely.
Right? You're supposed to change. Right?
Absolutely.
And then the people that's like still back in where you from, they look at you differently, like, oh, you changed. Oh, you ain't the same. Well, I ain't supposed to be.
I put the post on Facebook. People love it. They liked it and everything. See how this hit you. You might have seen. I think you liked it.
Uh-huh.
It says everybody wants you to be successful until you become successful.
Right.
A lot of people, and one girl was on it, she was like, boy, say that louder. I'm serious. People root for you to be successful until you become successful.
Right.
Because my success does not mean I have to give you. I can help you or I can try and direct you. But I'm not obligated to give you anything.
Exactly. Right.
Because nothing was given. Did anybody give me anything?
Nope. Earned everything.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, people got to understand when you're driving towards a legacy and when you're driving towards goals. Again, people sacrifice. Some gonna get left out. If you think you can please all your friends and accomplish your goals, you sadly mistaken. If you think every family member gonna be cool with what you doing to try and get to your path, you sadly mistaken.
Right. Exactly. It's back to the whole KD thing with the Giannis thing, right?
Correct.
It's like, so if I, like it says here, right? If I make a decision, if I take risks and I sacrifice and I get on the road to being successful, right, by opening up my own business,
correct.
Then they say, oh, you changed, you different, right? But if I don't do nothing, I go back and move in the trailer behind my mama house.
Oh,
right?
man.
Right? Then they still gonna
drag
talk
you.
About, right?
They
know what I
See,
mean?
the only thing, and like I said, I don't judge people. The only thing I don't like about people are sideline watchers.
Exactly.
And if you don't know what a sideline watcher is, that's the person that Jimmy would be saying, hey, Jimmy's back down here in the trailer.
Right.
But see, Jimmy went to Texas or he went to Minnesota or he went to California and he pursued his dream. Guess what? It didn't work out. But guess what? Jimmy can come back, move in that trailer. And if I'm Jimmy, I'm going right back to this time. But this time I'm going to Georgia.
Right.
I'm going to Tennessee.
Right.
I'm going to South Carolina. You talking about me on the sidelines and you not in the game, that ain't helping me.
Right.
And we got too much of that going on. And a lot of times it's from your surrounding family and your surrounding friends.
Right.
That's what you're speaking on.
Exactly.
Sideline watch.
Right, exactly. And to go back to what we talk about that inner circle.
Okay.
Right. You have to watch the circle, right? You trying to you taking advice of how to become a millionaire for somebody that never raised $1,000.
If my son tell me, Dad, I want to go to NFL, or just in my case where I wanted to branch off and have my own business, if I wouldn't have ever made a dime or ever became successful or getting my customers or being in the positions that God has blessed me to put in now, guess what, Jimmy? I'm fine with that.
Right.
Everybody can't say that because you're scared to lose. You're scared to lose so the people who mean you no good can talk about you. Man, who cares?
Right.
Who cares?
Yep.
Yeah, who cares? So that's my only thing, people. Don't let your surroundings be a fence. I'm talking about a cast iron fence that you can't get out of because you're worrying about what somebody else say. Man, live your life. Pursue your dreams. Pursue your dreams. Now, if you're happy sitting at home, again, because I always be clear.
Yes.
If you're happy working a job 40 years, retire and get your retirement going about your business, this shoe don't fit you.
Right.
This shoe is for the people who worrying about what their aunties, cousins, and they going to say because you're trying to be better or you're trying to want more. That's who I'm speaking to.
Yep. And to your point, like, listen to me real careful here. All right. And I hope I step on some toes and hurt some feelings because that means that it's you that I'm talking to. All right. If your inner circle, all right, are not heading in your direction, have not achieved what you're trying to achieve, you need to cut them like a umbilical cord. Cut them, tie them off, and move on. All right. If you have to stop, please listen to me when I say this. All right. Stop taking advice about whether or not you should go back to get your master's degree from people that doesn't have a bachelor's degree. Stop taking advice from them. Stop taking advice on how to become a millionaire for people that don't have $100 in their bank account. All right, they cannot teach you or show you. All they can do is discourage you from doing it because they don't want to see you in a better place than they are.
Great word, discourage.
All right, they don't want you there. All right, so stop asking them, stop taking advice from them, stop listening to what they tell you to do.
Right. And to your point on that, if it's a circle, and I just want to give a visual. If it's four guys on the porch, because I'm from the country, so that's why I'm talking country stuff. 4 guys on the porch, and the guy says, man, I'm finna go, and I'm gonna start me a business, so I'm gonna open up a store, I'm gonna do something. All right. In that circle, once that guy goes and opens his store, Jimmy, and he becomes successful, a lot of people think that he's supposed to bring those 3 people on the porch. I'm not a person that believes that.
Right.
I'm going to bring the people off the porch if they bring something that enhances what I went out and got.
Right.
It is not my responsibility. Because you always hear people say when they make it out, and that's a trap mentality. And I hate it when people, and let me stop saying hate. I dislike when people say he made it out the hood or he made it out. Made it out of what? I don't see no fortress fences where you can't leave and drive if you want to.
Exactly.
That's a mindset.
Right.
So I'm not obligated to do anything. But if one of those 3 guys on that porch brings something to the table that enhances and not pulls me back to the porch, come on.
Right.
Now, that's what I like about people. They mistake handouts for a helping hand.
Right.
I can point you in the direction, Jimmy. That's a helping hand. But point you, introduce you, give you, write the check just because I know Jimmy. No, that's not how I operate.
Right.
I'm gonna get pulled back to the porch. Do you want me back on the porch?
Right.
You got something, and believe me, I know some people laughing. It's some people want you back on the porch.
Right.
They want you back.
Right. And to your point, like, no, I'm even though I may have it, right, I'm not gonna give you $1,000 just because you say you need a bill paid. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna show you how to make $1,000.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, look, I want to add this, right? Don't be afraid to start over.
Absolutely.
Right? Don't be afraid to go back to the trailer.
Absolutely.
Right? Don't be. There's absolutely zero wrong with that if you're trying to put yourself in a better predicament to build that legacy. All right. Don't be afraid to start over, and don't let again, don't let people deter you from from having that legacy, right? From creating that legacy for you and your family, all right, for you and your loved ones, for your why, like whatever your why is, all right. That's
Correct.
why you want to build a legacy for whatever your why is, all right. And then to your point, like the country boy said, if you are good with 20, 30 years punching the clock, trading time for money, hey, I salute you. Right, I promise you, I salute you. Right, I'll be the first one there to when you retire and they give you that gold watch,
Party,
right? Party. Yep, I'm right there with you. All right, I don't have so. But if you're on the other side of that coin and you tired of that, you tired of trading time for money, you tired of making somebody else rich, somebody else family rich. Like my whole thing is, I talked to my mom and she's like, "Where you going?" I say, "Well, going to contribute to the Sam Walton family." Right, I mean, I'm going to Walmart. Right,
Denville, Arkansas.
Right, I'm on my way to contribute to the Sam Walton family.
Correct.
Right. So, if you try to punch in the clock, making somebody else rich, then start chasing your why. All right, stop chasing money, like the country boy said earlier. Stop chasing money and start chasing your why. All right, I'm gonna give you 3 things as we get ready to close out. 3 things to write down, and then the country boy gonna give us some last words. And then we're going to get out of here and get ready for next week, all right? So,
yeah, big show coming. Big show.
Big show.
Live show. Our first live show. We're going to be live, people.
Yep.
Live.
All the way live.
All the way live. With relationships 101. If you're not doing anything, go to my Facebook page. We got a rate system, 1 through 4.
Yeah.
Rate and be honest what you want in your mate. Looks, money, good sex, personality. Before you write the 4 down, Jimmy, like I tell everybody, be honest with yourself.
Right.
Because we're going to discuss it next week. That's all I got. Go ahead,
right.
Jimmy. Go ahead with your announcement.
All right. All right. So 3 things I want you all to write down. All right. Remember. All right. Number 1, like it says behind me. All right. Make a decision. All right. Make a decision. All right. One thing I learned as a commander is that even if it's a bad decision, at least you made a decision.
True.
All right. At least you made a decision. All right. Les Brown says that like in the graveyard there are 1,000 books that hadn't been written, 1,000 businesses that hadn't been opened. Right, there are so because the people have on their mind to do, but they didn't make a decision to do it. Right, all right. So make a decision. All right, that's number 1. All right. Second, like it says, take risks. All right, don't be afraid to take risks. All right, that's the only way you can be successful in life is by taking risks.
Calculated risk.
All right, you have to be willing to take risks. But on the other side of that, you have to understand that there comes the consequences with that, right? It comes, you may fail, right? But like I always say, that all L's don't mean loss. Some of them mean lessons, right? That road just wasn't for you to go down. Like the country boy said, right? Maybe it wasn't meant to go to Minnesota. Maybe you should have started in North Dakota.
Correct.
Right? Somewhere like that, right? So don't be afraid to take risks. Even in failure, still take risks. And finally, sacrifice.
That's
right?
that word again.
All right, sacrifice. That's the word you probably have heard in all 3 of these episodes, right? In some form or fashion.
Gonna beat it to sleep.
All right, sacrifice. Jordan had just imagine what Jordan had to sacrifice to play 3 straight seasons of 90 plus games, 95 plus games in 3 straight seasons. Just imagine the level of sacrifice he had to make with his family, right? With his body, right? With his, pretty sure he wanted a Whopper too.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
With the cigars, you know what I'm saying? There was a level of sacrifices that he had to make himself.
0 games missed.
0 games missed, right?
Oof,
So make a sacrifice, right? And this not on the list, but I'm ending with this. Don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. All right? Stop stopping because you're tired. All right? Sleep is the cousin of death, and rest is for retirement.
Rest is for retirement.
All right, what you got?
Look, I'm going to close y'all with this. You said something earlier, right, and it reminded me of my mom. She got her master's degree. She was almost 50. I'm going to say that again. My mom got her master's degree when she was almost 50. You've been telling people, I don't think they hear you. How old are you again, Jimmy?
46.
46. And you wanted to own your own business, and you found that you have achieved that goal.
At 46.
At 46.
Right.
Not 26, not 36.
Right.
Too many times in our society, you hear people say, "You too old to do this. You too old to do that." And yeah, that may be true for certain things. But my final thought of the day is going back to you can achieve your goals. Now, that one thing I heard a lot of cliches when I was young. That's not one of them. You can achieve anything you want if you're willing to sacrifice. It doesn't matter the age. You know, God's timing is perfect. So the things that you want to accomplish and the things that you want to be, the person you want to become, the father, the mother, the circumstances you want to overcome, it's never too late. Never too late. Too many times I hear people giving up on what they want to do because of their age. If you have the means and you have the plans, and that's why next week's show is going to be great about relationships, about surrounding yourself with a partner that believes in your goal, that you're on the same page with, then it's never too late. I mean, I'm pretty sure times you wanted to give up, Jimmy. I know it was times I wanted to give. It were times I was questioning myself as a man. There were times when I was questioning God. You know, why? But understand this, and I'm going to leave you simple as this. It's never, ever, ever too late for anything. Going back to the Bible, closing out with this. If God forgives sinners, and he knew you was going to sin, and all he asks is that you come and bow and repent and change your ways, then how could it be too late for you to do anything? Anything, Jimmy.
Anything.
Make sure you guys go like, subscribe, and share the Country Boy podcast presented by Unequaled Lifestyle with the social media preacher and the Country Boy. We would love to hear you guys comment. I ask people all the time, do you like the show? They tell me, yeah. So that don't get it for me. So my next question is, what you don't like? Tell me what you don't like, and then we can discuss it. See, unlike everybody else who want pats on the back, I want you to stand in my face and tell me the truth. If you like the show, but you don't like the shirt I got on, tell me. I was told today I'm hiding in the camera, so I'm trying to do a better job. But see, I'm a personal man, so, you know, it's a man thing. Me and Jimmy can't be just up on each other. But we working on that because, see, I've learned something else today. We have something coming that will allow us to have a better spacing, but yet still be together. So just wanted to leave you guys with that. Make sure you're liking, subscribing to the podcast so you can get the alerts every time we post, every time we do it. And one last thing before I go. If this next show is going to be awesome. The reason I'm so excited for it is because there is no event, and I mean this, Jim, I don't know about you. There is no event that I go to in life that men and women aren't talking about the disconnect between the two. In every bar, every steakhouse, every situation. And if you out there, you done had you some disconnects. You're not exempt from this test. Whether it was relationship, money, personality, time, any of that. This next show is going to be awesome. We got special guests. I ain't going to even tell you who they are because it's just going to be electric, Jimmy. I'm excited. I'm blessed. I pray to God I'm here because that's going to be electric.
Yep.
Electric.
Absolutely. It's electric.
It's going to be electric. Man, I don't get excited about a lot, Jimmy, but boy, I'm excited, man. Woo-wee.
That's electric. All right, so again, subscribe, like, share. If this episode wasn't for you, then it didn't affect you. It didn't have anything to do with you. I'm pretty sure you have somebody in your circle that need to hear it. All right, so subscribe,
share it.
And always pray. All right, forever have faith. Block out all the white noise, and always, always, always bet on self. All right, peace. I'll let y'all next week.
Be blessed.
All right, we out.